Hey guys, and welcome to another Age of Empires 2 Ranked 10 game audio commentary. This replay will be a 2 versus 2 Socotra game that I played this afternoon with my friend Gerald, aka Smasher O'Sullivan. I have been out of action for a couple of weeks in the Age of Empires 2 Ranked 10 game scene, and I managed to cancel a personal engagement to jump on for some games this afternoon because I really wanted to play. And I was given the option to go to something or not, and I decided not to go to it and get in a couple of games. So this was the second game of the afternoon. Unfortunately, we lost one. First game back, made some mistakes, and unfortunately couldn't win the game. So Socotra, I'm just going to take off the Fog of War. So Socotra is a very aggressive, very small map. You start on an island that is surrounded by impassable rocks, and then there is a forest, a very patchy sort of forest around the outside of the map, and you spawn basically one screen away from your opponent, very short rush distance. And on this map, you start off with it's standard resources, but you only get one elephant. Elephants have 400 food. So one elephant, you get 8 sheep. So I think, or maybe I got 6 there, and then I think I have another set of 2 sheep somewhere. Or maybe you don't get. Maybe it is only the 6 sheep, and you don't get extra sheep. Let me have a look. 6. Okay, so there's no actual extra sheep on Socotra in the ranked ladder, something I hadn't actually noticed until then. So your only resources essentially are your starting 6 sheep, your elephant, and your berries as far as food goes. And then you get a 2 tile of stone and a 4 tile of gold and a 3 tile of gold. Mine are both forward here. There are some neutral 3 tile golds in the middle. And I think, is that 2 tile gold considered a neutral resource? I think it actually might be. So there's, neutral 2 tile golds. So 4 and a 3. There's a 4 tile gold there as well. So I wonder if these, okay, so, right. So maybe it's 4 tiles of gold per player in ranked 10 games. So we've got 2 4s, a 3 and a 2. And then we've got 2 4s, a 3 and a 2. Okay, that's how it works. So there isn't actually technically any neutral gold as far as I can tell. It all spawns per player in the ranked team game. Alright, so anyway, I digress. So in this one, it's 2 versus 2, so there is no pocket. So we're both essentially playing flanks. My direct opponent is Aztecs. I don't actually know that yet. And then Gerald is playing as the Persians, and his direct opponent is the Mongols. Now, he already said at the start of this game that he wanted to do a Persian douche. Persian douche is very hard to stop on this map unless you're a very good player. So, because he picked that civ and going for that strategy, pretty much guaranteed to win the game anyway. But I wanted to talk about the strategy in this sort of map. So, one of the things that you can do, I'm going to start off the replay, is you can decide to go forward with your villagers to try and lame your opponent's resources. Now, it's common to try and steal their elephant, and also to kill their deer or their equivalent of deer, their huntables. So as Incas, I start off with a llama at the start, just helps make the start nice and smooth, and it gives our team an extra 100 food, which is really nice on this map in particular. So I found my elephant. Now, one of the things that you should do on Socotra is you should pull in your elephant as soon as possible. There is a downside to this, because if you are taking your elephant with less than the optimal amount of villagers, which is 8, you're going to get less food out of the animal. But it just ensures that you're actually getting to take the food from your elephant. So here, because I've obviously been a bit inactive, instead of going around the map, I've run straight into my opponent's TC. Now, luckily, he's decided not to chase me back, and my eagle's gotten away on 2 health. So that's actually very important, because if I'd lost my eagle, I wouldn't have been able to push in my deer. And what my opponent should be doing with his eagle is he should know that my eagle is very low health, and he only needs 1 hit to kill me. So he could have come forward to deny me pushing my my deer or ostrich into my town center. However, he has opted to just play it safe and to push his hunt in as well. So I've gone out a little bit late here to wood, I think. So what have I got? 6. Oh no, that's actually fine. So I've gone 6 on food and then 3 on wood, and I'm going to put the rest on the elephant. Unfortunately, because I pulled in the elephant so early, and one of the reasons why I wanted to do that is because the elephant was forward, I'm going to be getting less food out of the elephant than I normally would. So I really need to push in my deer. And I think that's something that Yellow could have definitely done, is to pull in, was to kill my eagle so I can't push in my deer, and then go and push his So what I wanted to do with my eagle is find the location of his elephant, and this player here hasn't pulled in his elephant yet, and so that's probably quite risky because I could have run a villager over there to go and steal it. However, I didn't find it, and it wasn't worth the risk probably going forward again. I had confidence in my ability to just play straight feudal age. So standard, how many villages are under the TC? I've got 8. So I've gone 8 onto food under the TC, pushing in my hunt, and then I've gone out to berries. Incas houses give you 10 population instead of 5, so I haven't had to make, it saves you a bit of wood in Dark Age, which is really nice. I've got a stuck villager there. I'm just going to put that villager on sheep, which I probably shouldn't have done. I probably should have moved that to berries, but that's okay. Anyway, so while I'm sort of setting up my Dark Age, I'm aiming to go probably around 19 population up. I think I might end up doing 20 population. And then I've been thinking about the strategy that I want to do. So there's several things that you can do when you're playing in either Socotra flank or 2v2 Socotra. So one of those, obviously, with Incas is you could do a tower rush. So my stone, I've got a back stone, which is nice for a tower rush. However, I did notice that my opponent's berries are forward, so I wanted to get some ranged units out on the field as fast as possible to put some pressure on my opponent's ability to take berries. Because the berry patches have 125 food and there's 6 berry patches, so that's 800 food. So that if I can disrupt my opponent from taking berries, that means he is going to not have enough wood to produce military that I am, because he's going to have to make farms around his TC a lot, I guess, more urgently than I will have to. So that's the strategy that I've decided to go for. So I guess, you know, with a meso civilization, obviously I'm building a barracks here. You could go a rush, you could go a man-at-arms rush, archer rush, and a tower rush. But the strategy that I've decided to go for is something that I saw in T90 Titans League and also the Warlords tournament. I think maybe less so in the Warlords tournament because it was a 9-vil start, but definitely in T90 Titans League, and that's Eagle Skirmisher. And it's also something that I've seen players that have been playing in tournaments do in other maps as well. It's particularly with Incas. Incas get a food discount on their military units. So if we go into the tech tree, it's 15% in Dark Age and then 20% in Feudal Age. So skirmishers at the moment, this is probably with the discount, but so they're going to cost 21 food instead of, I think, 25, and that will go down even more in Feudal Age. And also with the Eagle Warriors, it is 21 food as well. I think that goes down to like 19 food or something like that in the next stage as well. And for every food unit that I am making and that I am forcing my opponent to make, I'm getting an economic advantage because of that, because I'm saving that food on my units, and I can use that food to make more units to keep my town center working faster and also to get an earlier castle age time. So I've gone up at 20 population, 19 villages and my Eagle Scout. I've garrisoned my Eagle Scout into my town center to heal up some of the health, which is something that you can only do with Eagles, you can't do with Scout Cavalry. And then I'm sending most of my villages to wood, so I've gone up to 7 on wood and then 1 on a straggler for 8 on wood, because I want to have enough wood to be able to make an archery range straight away in Feudal Age. And that means I can start making ranged units and getting them out onto the field. So my opponent is being aggressive with his Eagle, but he's seen that I was bringing villages forward and that I'm up to Feudal. And he was very defensive with his Eagle, played it very safe in Dark Age and didn't go forward with any villages or harass me with his Eagle. So that's given me a nice, clean, easy Dark Age to set myself up for my Feudal Age strategy. So my ally, Gerald, has already started douching. Now I'm just going to focus on my strategy. So one of the most important things in Socotra and in maps like this with low food resources is you have to get farms up under the town center pretty much as soon as you can, as soon as all your free sources of food runs out. And what I actually have ended up doing here is I've got an extra villager on berries, but I think I actually end up going 6 on berries because I want to try and take as much of this free food as possible as well. Sending 1 villager out onto gold. And he has actually come forward with 3 villagers to try and tower rush me, and I've spotted it because I made military straight away, instantly making skirmishes, and I made an extra eagle because my main eagle was low, and I've pushed his villagers back into his base. I've noticed that he is actually not on berries at the moment for some reason. I think possibly because he's pulled his berry villagers onto stone for the tower rush or sent them forward. So that means that because he's got nothing there, I can actually just sit on his berries and deny these resources. I've run into harass one of his stone villagers. Unfortunately, I lost my starting scout, which is fine, but I know that because I can prevent him from taking this food, I'm going to have an advantage in the feudal age economy. I'm also starting to spend my wood on some farms. So I'm forcing a tower here at the moment with his on his stone because he wants to try and protect it. I've got more military than him. I've got 4 skirmishers and 1 eagle. The double eagle and the villagers coming forward is going to push me back though, and I want to try and save this eagle if I can. I'm not sure what's happened with the pathing here because I think I've clicked somewhere over here and the eagle has taken the long way around, which is really strange, but at least it's pulled the eagles off my skirmishers. So now I've been constantly making skirmishers since I've gone up to feudal age, and now I got house for a second, so I got town watch, which is a handy thing to get on maps like this anyway. And then I'm building a blacksmith as well because I want to get some upgrades on the skirmishers, particularly the +1 armor and fletching as well. So he's made a couple of skirmishers and he's still got the 2 eagles, but I can do some stuff micro to get some damage on those. They don't have any upgrades at the moment. And then I'm sending my weak eagle back to heal in the town center, which is a pretty cool thing that you can do with meso civilizations at the moment. Alright, so I've got a good mass of eagles. I'm getting +1 armor. I've stopped making them for now, but I'm getting a couple of extra eagle scouts because these are quite good complementary units. Both of these units are bad against scout cavalry in feudal age, but I'm playing against an Aztec opponent, so I don't have to worry about scouts. So this is actually probably the perfect unit composition against Aztecs on this map. And now, just to ensure that he can't take the berries, I'm coming forward to drop a tower on it. That will prevent him from probably being able to take these at all in the game, unless he builds a castle or something and takes down my tower. And then, because of that, you know, he's had to make farms. But if we I'm just going to pause the game and look at the villages at the moment. So yellow, because he hasn't been able to take his berries, is actually really struggling for food. He's trying to produce food units, eagles and skirmishers, and also produce villagers. And he has sacrificed 7 villages worth of town center time to be able to stay alive in this game already. And I think the mistake is probably snowballed because he sent his berry villagers forward to try and do a tower on me, and I went straight into military. And then because he has no military presence, or I've always had more military presence than him in this game, he has not had a chance to take those berries back. And it's put him at a massive deficit in terms of being able to spend his wood in this game, or being able to spend his wood on military. And he hasn't been able to afford the military and the farms to be able to get constant villager production, whereas I've been able to constantly make villages the whole time, and I've only not had a perfect idle TC because I've gotten housed twice. So now that my villagers have finished building this tower, I'm going to tower the forward I'm going to put a mining camp on the forward stone. I'm just sitting on the berries, and I'm going to do some damage to some of the nearby buildings here. Continuing to make farms. I did get the double bit axe upgrade after I built my archery range at the start of the game, but I haven't got horse collar. The reason that I delayed horse collar is it's because it's a bit expensive, and you get horse collar probably when going scout cavalry, but if it's a very aggressive game where you're making units that cost wood, that's 75 wood that you can't put into units at the start of the game. It just sort of delays the early numbers of skirmishers or archers, and so it can be worth delaying horse collar in aggressive games like this a lot of the time, if it's a short rush distance in particular. Another reason that you might do it is if you go up so fast, like 17 population, 18 population, and you just don't have the resources to be able to afford it, and also make military to take advantage of your early uptime as well. So here I'm building another tower to try and kill his tower. And I've got a massive military lead here. Well, actually I don't. It says he's got 13 military units. So he actually has only a couple less units than me, but I've got way more eagles than what he's got. So he's got 4 eagles, I've got 5. So there's only, it's only a small amount. But because of Lancaster's law, that means I'm going to be able to snowball the fight. And I've also got +1/+1 on my skirms. He doesn't have the +1 armor as well. So it's a small advantage. But I have a massive economic lead at the moment, 12 villages more, because again, if we look at Yellow's resources, he does have the ability to place some extra farms here, but He just hasn't been able to balance his... he's also floating 500 gold, so it's also an eco balance issue. So he doesn't need this gold at all. This player is definitely a couple hundred elo lower than me, but I thought this would be a good game to sort of demonstrate how to play Incas on Socotra. So even though I'm quite easily beating him, it's a good demonstration of a strategy that you can use with this civilization on the map. And I think I'm executing it pretty well, but Yellow is definitely making a lot of mistakes that aren't helping his case here. So I'm diving under the tower with the skirmishers and the eagles. I'm killing his armies down to 7 units. I'm just camping under the tower, trying to minimize the damage to my skirmishers. The +1 armors making it so that the tower only does 2 damage a shot, or 2 damage an arrow. And now I've killed all of his army, and I'm going to be able to take the tower down and deny his stone. And then once that's done, I can actually start denying the farms of the skirmishers, because I can attack the farms to prevent him from being able to gather from them with the villagers. So he tries to run a raid with his army. I pick off 2 of the skirmishers, losing a couple of mine. The tower's now down. His eagle's going to go down. Skirmishers, even though they only do 1 damage a shot per eagle, but if you can get enough of them, they're quite effective in a mass. So the game is over because not necessarily because of what I've done, but I think my ally has reached castle age, and he's also douche-shredded and slowed him down completely, and Yellow's losing as well. And so the game ends there. Yeah, so obviously there was a bit of a skill gap between me and Yellow, and my ally Gerald was doing quite a strong strategy. Like, it's very hard to stop a Persian douche. That's probably something that Red could have considered, but you know, it's like it is hard to stop a douche, particularly if it is done in Dark Age on a map like this with such an open area. Yeah, so I was pretty much at this stage of the game, when the game was over, thinking about going Castle Age. I'd done some market rebalance to buy some food, and I think I was selling some wood. I could have done a little bit better job to add some extra farms here, maybe like 2 more or something like that. But other than that, I think apart from the fail at the start with the eagle, I think I played this one pretty well. So I'm going to end the audio commentary here. Thanks for watching, guys, and I hope you look forward to the next video. And I also hope that my teammate Daniel Matters actually watches this video, because he plays Incas, and I think it'd be good for him to watch this replay to sort of learn how to play them a bit more effectively in these types of maps. One thing I'd actually be interested in hearing is for the people that actually watch my videos all the way through, I'd really appreciate if you leave a comment on the YouTube, because it'd be interesting to know like the types of people that are actually watching my streams and liking my videos, and I will definitely reply back in the comments if I get one. Thanks for watching, guys, and I hope you look forward to the next video.